Do you think their issue is with you in general?
To be honest, Gibson, I wish I knew. It has literally been like a Dr. Nicole Martin witch hunt for 3 years. From the moment I came on the show, I have been attacked in every aspect of my life. Professionally, financially questioned, relationships, like every single aspect of my life, they have tried to attack, question, judge in some way, shape, or form with no valid reason. So I don't understand it. I mean, the internet likes to say that they're jealous. I don't operate like that. I'm not a jealous person, so I can't see that as a valid reason. I don't know if they do it for like show purposes, I don't know. I don't know what it is, and I wish I understood, but I'm tired of it.
I want to gab. Okay, so today we're gabbing with Dr. Nicole Martin, who is in her third season of The Real Housewives of Miami. Dr. Nicole has proven herself to be an incredible housewife who lets us into her aspirational life while also proving that she is not afraid to go toe-to-toe with anybody. Nicole, thanks for being here. It's great to chat again. How are you?
I'm doing great, Gibson. Thank you for that lovely intro. So I'm like, I'm done.
So you're in the city right now to film the reunion, as with the rest of your cast. What's on your mindset right now going into filming? What's sort of top of mind for you to bring up and address?
So I think for me, the biggest thing this season has been the whole misunderstanding regarding the Mamacita massacre. I organized this event to kind of bring the women together after a disastrous Palm Beach. And it was never my intention for there to be so much drama. Adriana explicitly asked to bring Anna. It was her idea. Adriana has since admitted it. Anna has since given press saying it was Adriana's idea. Yet somehow I am still being villainized for this disaster. So I'm really hoping to kind of clear the air and set the record straight. So that's kind of like my number one on the agenda.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I actually interviewed Alexia yesterday. So she is definitely still very fired up about this, it seems. And, from her perspective, I'm just going to tell you what she kind of told me, which was like, she thinks that you're still trying to sort of get even with Marysol over the game that she brought up in the Hamptons 2 years ago. Is that accurate? Do you still feel some type of way about that with Marysol, or what's your perspective?
I think the problem is that Alexia and Marysol are so egocentric, right? Like they're so consumed by themselves that they think the entire world is also consumed by them. And they think that people are the way they are. I've done a lot of self-work. I've been very public about my therapy. I've done therapy on the show. I don't have space, energy, or time to hold grudges. Marysol apologized in Palm Beach, and I let her off the hook right away. She even said, "You don't have to be so easy on me." It's not worth it in my head to hold grudges. I would just be wasting energy if I held on to this nonsense for 2 years. Like, that's just not the way I operate. I don't give them that much importance, not in my head and not in my heart.
And it kind of feels, though, that they, or maybe Alexia, because you guys can't really seem to get on the similar ground, that they kind of have something against you potentially. Like, what do you think their issue is with you in general?
To be honest, Gibson, I wish I knew. It has literally been like a Dr. Nicole Martin witch hunt for 3 years. From the moment I came on the show, I have been attacked in every aspect of my life. Professionally, financially questioned, relationships, like every single aspect of my life, they have tried to attack, question, judge in some way, shape, or form with no valid reason. So I don't understand it. I mean, the internet likes to say that they're jealous. I don't operate like that. I'm not a jealous person, so I can't see that as a valid reason. I don't know if they do it for like show purposes, I don't know. I don't know what it is, and I wish I understood, but I'm tired of it. That's the truth.
Listen, I don't blame you, and I think you should feel good about you should feel good about the fact that you've been able to stand your ground all this time, kind of amidst all of that questioning and whatever you want to call it. And I guess maybe it's just because we kept seeing that clip on the show of Anna on that podcast talking saying that stuff about Marysol. And again, just as a viewer, because we kept seeing it, it sort of felt like, how could you not know about what Anna was saying about Marysol? How much did you know? And it was Adriana's idea, but was there any part of you that was like, let's have her there to see what happens kind of thing?
So I had heard about the rotting corpse thing for the first time at the luncheon. I had never seen that clip.
Okay.
And then, yes, obviously since then, now it's been incorporated into the episode. I have seen it numerous times.
Yes.
Prior to that, I had not seen it, watched it. Like there's so many podcasts. I can't even keep up with half of my interview requests, like the ones that I'm supposed to do myself. So I knew that there was drama from 10 years ago. Obviously, I had seen the prior seasons, but it's been a decade, right? Like all of us have drama at the reunions and we get back together the next season and we break bread and we sit at a table. So I kind of thought that was water under the bridge. Anna had also told me that she had talked to Marysol and that she had talked to Alexia since filming the reunion, that they were in a better place, that she had spent hours on the phone talking with Marysol, that they had collaborated on a fundraiser at some point. So in my mind, 10 years have passed. You guys have talked since. Adriana wants to bring her because according to Adriana, she's working on her friendship with Anna. I didn't see the big deal.
Got it. Yeah. So you had more context than perhaps we are aware of, honestly.
Yeah. So apparently there was a fundraiser that I think Anna helped organize during COVID. It was like a fashion fundraiser for frontline workers. And she was trying to get dresses from Housewives and whatnot. And so that sparked conversations with Alexia and Marysol. They chit-chatted. So according to Anna, they were in good.
Absolutely. Yeah. From your perspective, it seems like what's the issue, I guess.
Correct.
Yeah,
so in my mind, if you're talking and you're collaborating for charity, why can't you sit at a luncheon for 2 hours if Adriana wants to bring her?
Sure. Yeah, totally.
That was my take.
So then how did you make of how it all kind of ended up going? Because Anna was it seemed like she was there for 20 minutes and then just kind of pulled herself out of it. Like nothing seemed to really go according to plan, I guess, at the Mamacita Luncheon.
I mean, to be honest, I still don't know why they were so upset. It wasn't like Anna came in with some like piping hot tea that like destroyed anybody's life. Like there was really nothing that she said that was earth shattering. But I was really annoyed kind of at Adriana after the fact because I felt like I was a pawn in her scheme, right? Like she was plotting something. I don't know if Anna was in on it. Anna wasn't. Julia apparently knew. Like everybody knew that this thing was going down except for me. And I'm the only one that caught heat. So I was kind of like, what is going on?
Well, that was my next question for you is like, now that you're watching the show back and you're seeing Adriana sort of let you take the fall for this whole scheme about Anna, even though as far as you're saying, she knows that it was her that was kind of spearheading this whole thing. What do you make of her letting you take the fall for it?
So I was really upset watching it because I'm not privy to the other scenes. Like I wasn't there when she confessed to Julia that she was plotting this. So I was initially really upset. Obviously, Adriana reached out to me and kind of explained her side of things. And in her mind, she was like, I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want to put you in the middle of it. If I would have told you, then you would have been a co-conspirator, even though I looked like a co-conspirator anyways.
Right.
And so she plans on really clearing the air at the reunion. Let's see what she says and what she does. But the truth is that I really had no idea. And the irony of it all is that Alexia still wants to be mad at me, but her new so-called best friend, Julia, knew what Adriana was planning. She didn't call Alexia and be like, hey, girl, this is going down next week. So like Julia really knew, didn't tell Alexia, but she's not mad at Julia. Like, make it make sense. Make that.
So it really feels like she was dead set on just I'm finding the issue with you and just keeping it that way, kind of thing.
She's got a boner for me. Like she has a hard on for me, and I don't know why. I'm not planning on relieving it, so she just needs to let it go.
When you put it that way, do you expect Julia at the reunion to sort of stand up for you in any way, either, or at least help clear the air that okay, Adriana was talking about this, not Nicole?
I think Julia tried her best. There was like a brunch that I was not invited to, where Julia's like, Adriana, you need to own it. I think she really, she tried her best to explain things.
Right.
But as you can see, Alexia and Marysol are sometimes not subject to reason. They're going to have their own conclusions and they feel a certain way. And nothing I can say or do or anyone else can say or do that's going to change that.
Well, I hope that you guys, with the help of Andy, can get to the bottom of that whole situation because it feels like the answer is out there just for us to accept it or not accept it. And, I hope that we find some resolution at the reunion.
That's kind of how I feel because it's dragging on at this point. And I'm just like, You want to believe
Totally.
it, fine. You
Yeah.
don't.
And there's a lot of cooks in this kitchen, I have to say. Switching gears, Nicole, it's been so incredible to watch you be there as a support for Guerdy as she's gone through her diagnosis, her surgeries, her cancer battle. And I'm just curious what it was like sort of balancing filming and this more, surface level tension that you have with some of the rest of the ladies with this really serious thing that was happening with one of your best friends and being there to support her in this very real thing. What was it like sort of having both of these things happening at the same time?
I think that you really get perspective on life, right? When like you see your friend going through real health issues, you lose a family member, it really lets you know what's important. And it goes back to my point of not having the time or energy in my head or my heart to worry about some nonsense that happened in the Hamptons 2 years ago. Like there are people that are struggling for their life, that are fighting disease. And I see it every day at work. It's just, it doesn't make sense. And it really puts things into perspective. Like, where are you going to put your energy into? And obviously it was like into Guerdy's recovery and making sure she was okay and she didn't need anything.
Yeah. And I was also so impressed by her still going to all these group events and film. I'm like, how did she do all of this? That it's really impressive.
She is she's got an incredible work ethic. You've seen it with her wedding planning. She does these huge massive events. You see it with her commitment to the show and to the cast.
Totally.
And I think she's really like, something bad happened to her. She was diagnosed with cancer and she's like, I'm not going to let this define me. I am going to be an example to tons of women out there. I am going to shed light on the fact that you can be a young female with no family history
Right.
and get breast cancer. She really is now advocating for, yearly mammogram screening and drawing awareness to health. So I really do think that she has like burdened this cross and is carrying it with so much pride and really drawing awareness to the condition. And I'm proud of her.
Yeah. Same. And Larsa, the whole thing with Larsa and her has really been I think really tough to watch, honestly, because I don't know, it just feels like a really like icky thing to be playing out on the show. But Larsa has said several times that like she she thought that she was agreeing to not bringing it to the media, not necessarily to the rest of the group. And obviously Guerdy disagrees with that interpretation of their conversation. Where do you stand on that right now? And what kind of where is there hope for resolution in their thing at the reunion for in your perspective?
So obviously, I think it was very ill-advised of Larsa to go
Of course.
repeat, Guerdy's personal information. I don't think she did it with malice, to be honest. I don't think she was like, oh, I'm gonna just like go talk crap about her.
I
I
agree.
think she was like telling the girls more out of like what unexpected shock, and she didn't know what to do with the information. That being said, I think she needs to acknowledge Guerdy's feelings and outright apologize with no ifs, ands, or buts. And I think that's the problem in our group of friends.
Right.
We are not good apologizers. We always feel the need to defend, justify, or explain our actions. And I think that gets us into trouble. So I'm hoping that Larsa can watching back and see where maybe she took a couple missteps and remedy that so that we can put this behind us.
Yeah, that feels like it should be an easy apology to make too, especially because it seems like there's an open embrace, I think, for that apology to happen. So I hope that everyone sort of gets that.
Totally. But it's hard to like, I
I
think
know.
people understand like when you're on national television and everything you do is being scrutinized, you feel the need to defend your actions. And so there's always the I'm sorry, but let me tell you.
Yeah. Yes, totally. Well, you shared some exciting news that you're expecting another baby. How is the pregnancy going? What's the update in terms of growing your family?
I am very happy to report that I am having a wonderfully smooth pregnancy. Yep,
Yay.
I feel good. Still working, still exercising, no weird cravings, no nausea or anything like that. And we have 12 weeks left.
Wow.
I
Wow.
know it'll be here before we know it. The
Are you
house is
ready?
ready. No,
We're ready.
not even ready.
Oh, okay.
So many things going on. So it's like I'm just tackling one major event at a time. Like,
Reunion, right.
correct. New York this week, press, reunion, that stuff. Then we get back. It's Grayson's 5th birthday. So then I have to plan his
Wow.
birthday party. And then I think once Grayson's birthday is over mid-February, I'm going to start nesting and like planning the
Good.
nursery and all that stuff.
And is he so excited?
Oh, he's so excited. He's such a sweet boy. Like he kisses
He's
my
the cutest.
belly. Yeah. And he's like, I can't wait to meet my sister.
Oh
He's
my
very
God.
sweet. Yeah,
I
I'm
love it.
excited.
Well, you have so much exciting stuff going on in your life. But I do want to say right before we sign off is like, I was so sorry to hear about your father and his passing. And I just, when I got that news, I was like, wow, it was just such a pleasure to get to know him a little bit through this show. And I know that you guys had a complex relationship, but ultimately there was so much love there so clearly. And I'm just wondering how you're holding up and just sort of, I'm sure you've been receiving so much love over the past couple months. But I just wanted to say, give you my condolences before we signed off.
Thank, thank you. Appreciate it. It was hard because it was so unexpected. That being said, we've come a long way in our relationship. We've talked about a lot of our issues. We've addressed the elephant in the room. And, you'll see now in these last couple episodes, I actually make the effort and finally meet the girlfriend, which was something that was
Love.
very important to him. So I feel like, I extend that olive branch. We're in a better place. I even invite him and the girlfriend to our finale party. So we were in as good of a place as we've ever been. And so I'm at peace with that. And I'm actually thankful to the show for having put me in the situation where I had to deal with those kind of demons. But it's hard, watching the episodes now. It's just like you want to pick up the phone and you can't.
Right.
He's the first person that's close to me that's passed away. So it's the first time I've kind of had to process those feelings. So it's weird, the finality of death, but we're good. We're doing good.
Good. And it's really special to hear that you feel so at peace with where your relationship was with him, because that's all you can really ask for.
Exactly.
And I also, all this stuff that we just talked about, Guerdy being pregnant again and your father, like, I hope all that puts everything that we talked about the first half of this interview into perspective, right? It's
exactly. Like, that's how I feel. I think therapy works. And so I feel like I view things very differently than maybe some of my fellow castmates, which is hard for them to understand, but it's my reality. And so I prioritize the things that demand being prioritized,
Yeah, that's great to hear. Well, Dr. Nicole, this has been so great to chat with you. Good luck in the reunion. I hope that there's some resolution that's found within this group. And you guys have proven in the past that you can find it. So I have faith.
I hope so. All
right. Thank you so much. Bye, Nicole. I want to gab.